Welcome everybody. So we're just going to talk about A Silent Voice. We're just going to kind of dissect it. It's a really great film. I think anybody should, everybody should listen to. I mean, watch it and listen to it, but watch it. There's so much like visual communication in the movie too. So definitely like keep you have to listen. You have to listen to it by looking at it in some instances. So but yeah, Jacob, you got a topic you want to start it?
Oh, I'll introduce myself first. As you said, my name is Jacob.
Okay,
A
yeah,
good
yeah,
friend.
yeah, yeah. My bad.
Nah, it's good. Good
This
friend of
is
Michael here.
yeah.
Done plenty of stuff. Funnily enough, I know he's a DJ and all that. I'm kind of the opposite. I do classical music. Funny kind of opposition there, but it's how we are.
He's a he's a killer tuba
I'm a
player.
tuba player,
Killer.
tubas. Thank you. I'm trying to go as far as I can with that. But anyways, this movie is actually a very good one to me. This is like maybe my sixth time watching it now that I've tallied it up. And I've enjoyed every single viewing of it. And so like why is that? I think really it comes down to three things that we could really talk about in depth. First off being it's a really good character study. Not a lot of movies and shows kind of to pick if that's the right word, depression like this one does, but also like growth and
Yeah,
kind of this teen drama. And that's what this movie is. It's a teen drama with a little bit of romance and a little bit of slice of life, but it's so enjoyable. So that's the first thing is how it depicts reality in such a wonderful way. The second one is just the beauty of it, and that's more than just surface level. Yes, it's a very pretty animation, but there's a lot we can talk on that.
yeah.
The third one is as a musician. Oh my gosh, the score for this thing is phenomenal, and I definitely want to talk about that as we go through it. But to me, that's the three things I would like to discuss about it and kind of pick apart.
The the characters, and the music, and
And this artistry of it.
all right.
Yeah. So I guess
I'm
you know
excited.
we got a messenger or a chat. What's up, man? So so like for you, I know what I think about this movie, but what's your kind of depiction of the characters? What are the are we going for
Just like
sport?
like
Go on.
the big thing about it was the character with me too. Just how like fleshed out the characters were, how flawed they were. Like stuff you don't like the nuance you don't really see depicted in animes, cartoons, live action television, anything really. Sometimes like
Oh
just
yes.
well rounded, multi-dimensional characters with flaws
Hmm.
and realistic reactions to those flaws.
Yeah. And I'll say this, just to I'm gonna try to keep this spoiler free, so I'm not gonna say anything that happens
Oh,
or
we can spoil the heck out of this movie.
nah, nah. Let's try
Every,
not to. I think it's something that people should witness, just a little bit.
I got
We'll try to keep it
okay.
spoiler free. If it slips, sorry. We'll try to give a warning if we do. But to me, to give a kind of example, there's a character in the movie that's kind of comes in halfway through. Well, reappears halfway through the movie, and I'm gonna be honest, I hated her. I thought she was the worst character,
Yeah.
but that made me really actually like at the end of the day that makes me love that character because they actually grow. I mean, you think about it. We always try to have a Superman in our media, a perfect character, but this character comes in, they're a jerk,
Yeah.
but they become so much better, and everyone grows through the movie, and it's just amazing. To the person in chat, I think we might be a little bit ahead of you, but like I said, we're not going to spoil it. It's okay that you haven't watched it. We're just here to talk about it.
All
Um,
right.
and yeah, no, it's wonderful. To kind of go a little further in detail, to me, like I said earlier, I think the betrayal or portrayal of depression is one of the best portrayals in the media. As somebody that doesn't really suffer from that too much, but has gone through some, but also knows a lot of people that unfortunately are going through depression, the way it visualizes it is perfect. I don't want to spoil it, because what it does in my opinion is a spoiler to say how they show it, but it's
I got
so
you.
mature and well done. And
I
it
think
sorry.
I feel like so many of the things the character went through, I could kind of relate to from a mental standpoint myself. I ain't want to like I talk about OCD and stuff like anxiety and stuff like that. I haven't had anything just properly, clinically like talked about or whatever. But I mean, I've looked at the symptoms and stuff like that. The stuff I see the character go through, the stuff I've gone through in my mind and my mental space and stuff like that. So I
Hmm.
related to like the way he felt like characters like what he felt like people thought of him. Like he had all these negative
Hmm.
this is just a minor thing. This isn't last the whole movie, but like he would basically like see people and like he would hear them just criticizing him, and like I just related to it so much because you think maybe they're looking at me or they're trying to say something bad. They must be talking about me, something bad about me, and it's a
Hmm.
sort of self-centeredness, but at the same time, it's like it's it's damaging.
No, I totally agree. Again, like one of my favorite examples, just to give one, is they did something very brilliant. Also, visually, the depiction of depression was there, but there's something they did with the audio, that, like, I don't want, again, not to spoil anything, but it was in my opinion, what they did in one scene with the audio was it was overwhelming. And to me, like, whenever I go through any issues with that, that's how it feels. Like, it's almost like I can't hear anything else. And to see that in media was just awesome. And I just think, I really gotta think just how amazing that studio did when it came to bringing that to light. I will say, before we go on, if anyone in the chat wants to ask questions or communicate, we're more than happy to do that as well.
Did you some people saw sent some messages?
Yeah, some people have been sending messages.
Okay, what's some? Just let me like when you see it next
I'll
time.
let you
Just let me
know.
know
I'll
what they
let you
say.
know if anyone asks a question or something. But we have somebody in here that was
Like,
communicating. But
uh,
I will briefly say this to the people that aren't aware. So the studio that made this movie, let me say the name right, Kyoto Animation, wonderful studio. In 2019, people may or may not remember this, especially if you were not an anime fan. In 2019, the studio that made this film actually burned down. It was attacked by an arsonist. Unfortunately, only one person got out unharmed. Over half the studio, unfortunately, went down with the fire. Um, and so it's one of those things that it's like, it makes you mad. It's such an awesome
yeah,
studio, and I just, I want to share that with the people here, just to support. I think they're still in operation. I think they're coming out. They are coming out with new movies. Um, so that, luckily, they are still around. They still are going strong. But if you want to support Kyoto Animation, especially after what they went through last year, that'd be awesome. I just wanted to throw that out there.
that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that for real. I was somewhat familiar with that. I've heard. I didn't know it was this particular studio that it happened
Hmm.
to.
That's actually one of the reasons why I recommended we talk about this movie, because I kind of wanted to bring it to light, because this is not the biggest studio, but I think they're wonderful, and I think that people should know about them and help them, especially, like I said, after what they went through. Um,
Right.
yeah, as one of our viewers, Eviscerate, he also recalls that, and no, it's definitely one of the worst things to happen to the animation industry. It's really sad, but like I said, luckily they are still going strong, and I'm super happy that's the case. So moving on to another topic, I said there's three I want to talk about. The other one was the artistry that was like depicted in the movie. I think I gotta say, man, like, even though it's a slice of life, it's not fanatical or anything like that. There's not these insane
Yeah.
character designs. I thought all the characters are really beautiful. In
Right.
character design, of course. Um, they all stood out. They all looked interesting, and they were all really pleasing to the eye. It kind of sounds weird to say that, but you get my point. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, just like it was just a lot of attention to detail, like especially with the food. We always like folks always talk about the food with animes and stuff like
Hmm.
that, but like they really outdid it with like in certain moments they had certain shoot you get it's kind of hard. I can't so kind of focused ready to talk about like the doggone like the character motivations and stuff, or
Hmm.
just how like the plot and stuff. So, but I it's hard to say. Like everything was so beautiful. Like I might have lost for words.
Yeah. Well, like, let me ask you this. We obviously the characters were gorgeous, and their design and the animation. But what did you think? And I know you said you've seen the movie twice, so maybe you picked this
Yeah.
up. But what did you think about the background, the images, and all that they depicted? To me, I'll start off with this. To me, you might not see this, but like especially like when he's walking through the rice fields and stuff. Oh my goodness, it's so great. And the skies, they're
Hmm.
beautiful. What's your thoughts? Hey, thanks for heading in, man. You have a good one. Viscerate said he loved your new track and he's heading out.
Who is that?
His name's Viscerate on Twitch.
Oh yeah, that's my boy.
Good.
But yeah, the shoot, it's really hard. Like also like when I think of the visual stuff, I thought of maybe like how stuff was visually communicated and like the transitions and stuff like that, and how
Hmm.
like one time like one of the bigger characters that come into the movie, like you see them kind of you look back and you see them kind of like bicycling in the background. It was like okay, this character actually like bicycle was riding the bicycle before he even met this guy, and
Hmm.
so I just thought it was kind of a way to sneak to sneakily introduce that character into the story.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
not necessarily introduce him, but like like so he knew he saw old boy before old boy even knew he existed really.
Hmm. Yeah,
But we looked at it like a
I definitely love foreshadowing in film. I
huh
think it's awesome
yeah
when a director lets you see something and like almost give you it before it's really there. And I think that's a really mature and brilliant kind of depiction for a movie to give the audience. I,
right.
I will say as far as like going on that artistry of the film, there's a lot of small things that I want to put out there. Like there's a fireworks scene, really really good looking. As far as there's some objects and all that with how characters interact with the environment that I thought was really done. The water is phenomenal. Oh my goodness. So all the stuff, all
Right,
sort of stuff like that, it looks really good.
especially like
What do you think about that?
the water and stuff like that. Yeah, like
Hmm.
that's just like my thing with anime in general is like I mean like especially Kyoto Studio. So I think Kyoto did like on K-On! And stuff like that,
I
right?
think so. Yeah, I don't know exactly,
Yeah,
but I know they did like Sound
yeah.
Euphonium.
I
Yeah,
just
of course I do.
I mean I just like how just bright and how bright everything is and that
Hmm.
the art style they go for and just like I always say like it really captures unlike other animation studios and stuff like that
Hmm.
like like in Western animation I feel like they don't capture stuff like that as well as like Japanese animation does,
Hmm.
and especially that studio the way they just have everything so like shiny for lack of a better word, but
Yeah,
like
the
the
vibrancy
like
almost.
vibrance.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word I'm looking for. And it's just
gotcha.
like I look at. I mean, I get kind of. I get I get kind of a little bit spiritual, religious with it a little bit. I like. I think about how God created this earth and how beautiful it is, and I just
Hmm.
think it's like even whatever those artists or whatever they believe. I kind of see God through. I see
Hmm.
like the image. You know how they say we were made in the image of God.
Yeah.
I just see like such like his. I see his creativity, his attention to detail through that
Mhm.
a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely think so. as an art nerd, I'm not very good at art. I'll tell the audience that. But as an art nerd, one of the things, and spirituality is definitely an interesting thing within art. Do you need it for art? No, and if that's okay if you don't. But like Leonardo da Vinci, his study of the human anatomy was really a lot, most in part through spirituality. The depiction of God in God's image. A lot of artists will draw stuff like that, and so bringing that back to this film, I definitely see what you mean. It's that almost surrealism, but grounded in that beautiful reality that is life,
Yeah.
so to make this kind of even more of a merry-go-round of what you're saying, and to me, the film is beautiful, right? That's obvious.
Yeah.
But its topics are very dark. Of course, it has amazing ending, very happy, and it really resolves. I'll say that. But it's one of those things, like, life is not easy, and I think that really makes the film beautiful, or if that's a word, more beautiful through its artistry.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that is kind of a juxtaposition, like with such dark subject matter, like you said, and it's like I almost it's some movies are poured on the whole depressing thing. They'll make everything like drab and gray colored or whatever just to drive that point home. But I'm really glad it wasn't like that in this movie.
And that's what I'm saying about the maturity, like in our first topic, the maturity of the depiction of depression. In depression,
Right.
media likes to show a depressed person like wearing a hoodie, being in the back of class, looking like a loner. But that's not reality. In reality, the guy walking next to you on the street smiling has depression. And so the fact that it looks so beautiful and surreal, but still is able to use the topic, it's just amazing. It really shows how well done this film is.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But I'll say my third point. This is my we're both musicians here. What did you think about the sound? I want to hear what you had to say first, and I'll add on to mine.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, like the soundtrack was straight, but it almost was like, okay, it's a good soundtrack, but it wasn't intrusive. It wasn't intrusive enough to really catch my attention.
Okay, yeah.
Like the first time through, and to see what story was being told through the audio. But I mean, like there are certain moments that kind of like kept like I hope this thing. I mean, it's not. This is kind of the premise of the movie. So it's a deaf girl in this movie, and sometimes some moments are captured with silence and high pitched noises to really kind of, I guess, give her perspective of the situation. And like, I'm not gonna lie, it took me some help to kind of like pick that up. It took me some time to kind of figure out what's going on with that.
No, I definitely.
I know. Like, but yeah, that's and it was. I mean, it's some beautiful piano things going on. The ending song was really good. I'm a sucker. I actually like. I think I like anime endings. I like openings, even though this movie didn't.
Well, they're usually usually the opening is upbeat and gets you excited, but the ending is like more emotional. So.
Yeah. So I resonate with endings more likely. But like I thought that was interesting that this movie started out with a American song.
I thought that was interesting.
Because my generation.
I think the reason they chose that song, right? I find that clever because it is a teen drama. That's what I feel. Honestly, I think this is how you would classify this film: a teen drama with a little bit of romance and a little bit of, with that kind of is also pretty much a character study. But to have a song like that kind of upbeat teeny song really kind of put in perspective what the film was going to more or less be like, and I thought that's pretty cool. To add on my thoughts about the music and the film, I'll say this. It's no Yellow in April. And what do I mean by that? Yellow in April is almost poetic in its use of music. literally, like, you'll almost be entranced more in the music than the character actually talking over it. Like, it's almost like you're flowing through it. It's not that, but I
But,
did,
but
but I did feel moments of that, especially when they had these kind of really interesting animated scenes of him, like, of how do I put it? These abstract scenes that go throughout the movie. They'll play these audio with it. That's just so beautiful. It's awesome. What are your thoughts on that?
uh, shoot, it's tough. Like I said, like I don't really, like I said, I couldn't really kind of like
Mm-hmm.
pick apart what was going on with the audio. I know like in certain parts they had like piano. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know this one part in the movie they kind of drove home this emotional, scary, the scary emotional part with this hard piano thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's the only time I really like just like that was like the biggest part of that
That's
was
what caught your attention the
most
most. I got
noticeable
you.
at the time, that
Mm-hmm.
most notice most noticeable audio moment.
I feel that, maybe, and that could be the fact that, like I said, this is my sixth time watching the film, so I started paying more attention to the music and stuff more
Yeah,
than
I'm a, I'm
anything
a,
else.
I'm a silent voice movie, so
And
so
I'm
you know what my
also
at least not.
I gotcha. I'm also very. That's kind of my. I love video game and movie soundtracks, so I usually pay attention to those. But no, like, it is kind of cool to hear your thoughts as somebody that I'm not saying like wouldn't pick up on that like me, but like is just kind of more average on that viewership of that experience, and it's nice to hear what you thought about it, because I think that's a good case. The music's not overwhelming. It's not the most insane thing in the world, but it really kind of what's the word, accompanies the film really well. Is that what kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, basically like Breath of the Wild soundtrack to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it more as it's like a layer. It's like in music we have a thing called like the wall of sound. So we'll have like a bunch of different sounds. We'll probably have 5 sounds playing at once, but it
Mm-hmm.
all sounds like one sound. So in this movie, you will have like a audio thing going on, a visual thing going on, a dialogue thing going on, all types of different things going on. But it's all driving home a certain message. So it almost moves as a unit to me. It kind of like everything kind of comes in as like one quote unquote sound to me,
Gotcha.
proverbial
Yeah.
sound or whatever you want to say.
And I think that's kind of the goal with the soundtrack. So that's good that happened. Yeah. So I definitely agree. Now, is there any other kind of musical or audio aspects of the movie? I mean, that you noticed, or
Any other audio aspects. Um,
it's fine if you don't. I'm just curious.
I know this is almost kind of going into dialogue, but I just kind of do like that. Like old girl was portrayed like the
Mm-hmm.
girl who's Shoko, is it Shoya or
It's
Shoko? I kind of hate that they were both or whatever,
yeah, they both had
but like
S like
like
showed. Yeah.
so was who's Shoka?
I'm looking up the cast real
Shoko
fast because
was
I
the
gotta remember
girl.
myself. It is Shouko. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Right. I
But
just, I just, I liked her vocal. Like in the dub, I watched the dub version, so I thought, I mean, that was my first time first time hearing somebody portray somebody with speech problems like that. And
mhm.
I just thought that was pretty interesting, and I thought she did a real good job with that. And it's something you don't really think. It's just when you go that extra mile to like bring in that detail of real life, like people that really deal with that, they'll sound a little different.
Mhm.
It'd be hard for them to get their point across and stuff like that.
Mhm. I
Cool to see that portrayed, and I think there's that's a good thing about movies is that they show people they show other people's experiences, because some people are not interested. I mean, not what you call it, introduced to things
mhm.
of this sort, like those problems, and that's what I really want to get into, like the communication. Like that's what really kind of like struck out to me with this movie was like how we see different how communication can get misconstrued, and how you can but yeah, that's kind of what I want to get
No, that's
into.
actually another thing I wanted to talk about with the film. The the way they, and that kind of goes into the like maturity of the storytelling. The way they depicted a lot of that stuff to me was especially awesome. You know, when I first watched it, I watched the dub the first time I watched this movie, and when the characters spoke, the girl that had with the deaf girl spoke, bad with names. At first I thought it was kind of wrong and a little bit insulting. I was like, is that actually what it sounds like? And fair, and you know, actually researching
Right.
and listening to stuff like that, especially when I watched it one time with a friend of mine, and that's actually about what it would sound like if you know, I don't know a lot of deaf people. I'm just not around that, but
Yeah.
speaking to somebody that was and watching a film with somebody that is one of my friends, it was really interesting to hear their take on it because they thought it was an awesome depiction, and it was just one of those things that really, like, once you realize that, it makes the movie so much better. The other thing, so sign language, I know a little bit of sign language just from osmosis of my mom knew it. She learned it when she was young, and she taught me just a little bit. I definitely can't use it in a conversation, but I know a little bit. The one thing I know is that there's a difference between American and Japanese sign language, and that film does it really well. Because when I was looking at it, some of the stuff they said, I know, like, I and all that stuff, and it's similar, but some of this stuff I was like, what are they doing there with their sign language? Apparently it's really well done, from what I've read, the sign language depiction within the film of Japanese sign language. So that's really cool that they were able to do that. You could actually, like, understand it as a deaf viewer, apparently. So that was really cool to kind of learn about.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I feel like what really struck out to me, like it's not just old girls breakdown in communication, but it's the protagonist. His
Yes,
he
yes.
had like his depression was a hindrance to the way he communicated and the way he felt. I guess people come off to him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he thought everybody was like holding stuff against him. And but like what really struck out to me, like the character you hated, we hated or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, like it's there was a part where she was talking to the deaf girl and she was like how could you not understand what I was communicating?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another interesting thing that people won't really think about. But some people are more socially intelligent than others,
Mm-hmm.
and they expect the people that's, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's one. You know, that's also another awesome thing I thought about.
People are like to catch their nuances of like communication. Like, oh, I was trying to ignore you, so like leave
Mm-hmm.
me alone. But
Mm-hmm.
like not everybody's like
Catches
had
that, yeah.
experience with it.
And you know, like, I think that's also definitely a really beautiful thing, because I'm not to spoil anything, but the character I said I hated earlier in the stream, you know, there's almost an enlightening point that she brings up. Again, not to spoil anything, but what the film almost made me realize is that, like, for example, usually when you see a deaf girl, or in any case a disabled person, you tend to want to have, naturally you tend to want to have sympathy towards them, so you don't
Right.
you know, you don't kind of hold the same level of expectations, which I'm not going to say if that's right or wrong, because it really, life's not simple enough to say that, but the film does bring up a really good point, because there's moments where characters get mad because of that, and you know, they're kids and they don't understand, and that, to me, that's really, really cool. You know, it makes you realize that communication is not simple. That's one of the beautifulest things about this movie and its messages, is that communication is not simple. Anyways,
Right.
what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, and it gets into like the bullying and stuff. Like I was researching I was research like how common is bullying in Japan, because I didn't really think about how much bullying went on in Japan and stuff like that. But it
Mm-hmm.
gets really nasty over there. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, like you said, like the kids, they don't know any better, like how to treat different people. Their brain is still developing. They're not
Mm-hmm.
experienced in social situations. There's some like a lack of social intelligence in that aspect to it, in the maltreatment of people, I guess you could say. So
Mm-hmm.
like Like they don't understand death, so they're like, why aren't you on our level?
Yeah.
Get on our level, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like in from what I've heard in Japan, like what I was watching, like some kids really won't like they emphasize social harmony in Japan. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes they'll blame whoever is like whoever is the person that's getting picked on. They'll call them the victim. They're the weird one.
Mm-hmm.
They're the one that's quote unquote disrupting social harmony.
Mm-hmm.
So or they'll try to be like, oh, this person is weak. The victim is weak, so we need to try to make the victim stronger. And
Mm-hmm.
to some point, the teachers are either like see the stuff in broad daylight and still ignore it, or sometimes the teachers will insinuate the bullying themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
that shocked me. But you can see, like in the teacher in that movie, he was really like he was very what you call it, this like oblivious or dismissive toward what was going on
Mm-hmm.
in his classroom.
Yeah, it wasn't until it became an actual issue that he did anything. So that's very true. Um, I will say, obviously the socioeconomic state is different wherever you are, but I do think that is really interesting to consider. And that, that's one thing I'll say. I think films, why people watch films and films like from other nations and stuff. It really lets you. Films are just a hot pot of reality. You know what I mean? They just show you a slice of reality, and
Right.
and so I think that's one of the awesomest things about watching a movie, and I think that's why it's good to do something like this where you discuss a movie. And I agree with you on that point. I will say this to kind of maybe lead this into a little bit of a wrap up. Was there anything negative you thought about the movie? Like any bad points?
I felt like just because of like the stuff from I mean I went and watched some like what you call it complimentary YouTube videos on the stuff like what was
Yeah.
going on in the movie a little bit just to kind of see like what exactly did I miss. And so
Okay.
like the big near death moment towards the end of the movie
Mm-hmm.
it came, like I said, it felt like it came out of nowhere almost, and it felt like there was a lot of melodrama toward the end. And I
Mm-hmm.
could kind of see how it made sense, but I still felt like I was missing something to make it to make it make more sense in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so.
I felt like the first
Like
half
why
of
it
the
happened
movie
and
like
stuff.
was like yeah, like why the stuff in the latter part of the movie was happening. But like I feel like the first part of the movie was like easier to follow and kind of
Mm-hmm.
I felt more from that.
So
But the
you
last
feel like
part
there
it
could be a
almost
better information flow for the last half of the movie.
right.
Gotcha.
And that's probably because this was adapted from a manga that probably explains some more things.
Yeah, that does explain. That is true. It's adapted from manga. I think I can mostly agree with that. I think I could explain, but I've seen it 6 times, so that's probably that's probably why I don't really see what you're saying as much, but I can understand it. And I think that is a good point. Any other points before I say mine?
Mm, what's up with nah, this probably not that much of a spoiler. She's just like a background character you never see.
Uh huh.
And it's like, okay, where is his sister? Like what's going on with her? Like is she like I don't know.
Oh! That's actually something I meant to talk about. The black little girl. Or
Uh-huh.
yeah, no, okay, so that's actually really cool. I thought. So that's and that might be an issue with translation. So in the original dub, it's explained pretty well. That is his sister's daughter. That's his niece. Okay, does that make more sense?
Uh-huh.
So his
Oh yeah, I mean I know that that's the niece, but like I don't know. Like
what do
they
you?
just don't show. Like I don't know if there's some like more to what was going on with it because it's just like, oh, hey, here's these characters. They're here. Like
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Because there were some characters that were kind of like unnecessary, kind of. You know what I mean? So I see what you mean there.
yeah, I
So
was
what you're
like,
saying is like, why was
I
she in
mean,
the film, or?
like it's cool that you, yeah, like the like the whole little sister and I mean no little niece and
Mm-hmm.
sister and sister boyfriend situation. I mean I thought it was interesting, but I was just like, hey, why is it on? Like, how does this contribute to the story? That's my
Yeah.
that was my like. It's just like they're here. Like, oh, it's like I guess to flesh out the world, maybe.
Yeah, which is not
I don't
bad,
know.
but it's one of those things like you could have given them something or done something
Yeah,
with them. Now,
yeah. I was just
of
like,
course,
if
it's
it would
from
have.
manga, but maybe there's something in manga that makes it more sense. But who knows? I see what you mean though, and I think that's definitely like, I think it's good to be critical of a film because that's how you improve a film. That's how you do many things. So no, I agree. I agree with that. Now, I did think that character's kind of cool because they were black in Japan. You don't see that much, and it's kind of cool to see a
Yeah,
mainstream movie depict that kind of mix of culture. I guess I
I
thought that was really cool.
actually have a. I actually like he was in the military too, so he kind of made me think of my uncle because
Mhm.
my uncle has a kid in Japan when he was deployed there. So I
Mhm.
thought that was kind of I was like, oh yeah, this there go my uncle. Uh,
Yeah.
but but it was just like it was just kind of like they came out like they were feeling in the cut like out of nowhere. It was just like we're here, we're we're here.
Yeah. I know what you mean. So I do see now. I don't have much to complain about the movie. I agree with you on that aspects. There's some characters that weren't fleshed out. Uh, there's some, maybe I think mostly I agree with you. I could see the second half of the movie being a bit more fleshed out. And obviously these are gripes. They're not like we're not saying this makes the movie bad. Of course, like I said with the little girl and some other like minor characters, I was like, oh, they're really important here. Like that. For example, not to spoil, but you know that one girl with like the redhead boy
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
friends with that girl. It's like, why was he in the film? Like, he didn't do much,
Oh
at
yeah.
all. Like he had like 2 lines of dialogue. You know what I mean? So I see what you mean there.
I
Um,
think he. I kind of see. Yeah, I kind of feel that. I kind of get that sort of feel like why is he here a little bit. But at the
hmm
same time, I think his is kind of like I don't know. I think his kind of contributes in the story as a way like it gives old girl like a reason kind of
Yeah, yeah, no,
to
yeah, that
do
is
that
true.
one action that kind of drives the story a little bit
Yeah.
to kind
Uh,
of give.
my
But
point
also,
though,
he
my
has
point
like
though is like, yes, that's true, and that is good. That does make him a valuable character, but he's still well, a necessary character, but he still feels like a weak, like he's necessary, but he still feels like a weak character. You know what I mean?
I got you. Like
Yeah,
yeah, I see what you mean.
yeah,
I
um,
mean, not everybody has to be like,
yeah.
I don't know, not everybody has to be like super fleshed out characters. You see that
Mhm.
in like you know how Marvel joke with folks and stuff like that. But like, it's just like I don't. I feel I kind of I can almost excuse him a little bit more than I can
Yeah,
excuse
yeah,
the whole like random sister situation.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I wanted the thing about the sister. I
Because
just
usually
wanted
you
to know
think the
more
main
about
character's
what was.
family is kind of important. you know, like his mom
Yeah,
was well done. That was a really good character. But it's like I see what you mean. I agree. Now, this is more of a joke than anything. My only big issue with the film, right, is the fact
hmm
that in many of the shots where he's wearing a T-shirt, his tag is out. It pissed me off.
yeah.
It made me so mad. And then like his shirt wouldn't be all the way tucked in. I know I'm making it. I'm mostly joking here,
Yeah.
but that really did bother me. Like more than it
I
should
know.
have.
I talked.
Sorry, go on.
When I watched it with my mother, I like pointed it out to her, and she was like, "Yeah, he getting on my nerves with it." But I wonder if that was supposed to like, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to kind of communicate his personality a little bit, that
hmm
he's not so concerned with his appearance, I guess, or that
That
he's
could be
kind of
it. That
still
is
like, I don't
true.
know.
That is true.
I thought that I chalked it up to that. I didn't think it was a flaw, but it was. I mean, it's annoying. Like you see, like old girl, it's annoying and it's important. Like old girl
hmm
being like the blonde girl being annoying but important.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like I said, that's more of a joke. I didn't. It didn't actually make me like think any less of the film. It's just something I thought I'd point out. But yeah, no, it's a great. Now, I will say this: like me personally, if I had to rate the film, I think it'd be a 4.8. I think there's definitely some flaws, like we said, but I think for the most part, it's almost a perfect film. It's really good, a really good
4.8
depiction.
out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5.
Out of 5.
Yeah, out
I
of 5.
thought you said out of 10. I was like,
No, no,
dang,
no. I
like
probably should
dang,
have declared
Jacob,
that.
you.
4.8 out of 5. I think it's a really good film. I think it's something that everyone should try to watch. I think it's one of those. It's almost like a Ghibli film, you know, family almost a little too adult for some people, but it's one of those films that's really
I mean,
good.
if you got they call it parental guidance for a reason. I
Yeah.
think it's good to have movies like these where you can talk to your children and be like,
Yeah.
look, like
That's the
this
thing.
is
I think
life,
it's a movie
but
for everybody. You can show it to your kids. You can watch it as a 87-year-old man. You know, I think it's one of those movies that's
right.
just really well for everybody, and I think it's a universally good film in my opinion. What's your thoughts?
Same. I mean, I think it's one of those. It's almost an essential. Like you gotta like. It should be more like. I mean, but I have seen like on anime TikTok and stuff like that. I've seen this movie recommended a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't really like. I mean, didn't really know nothing about it. Until I've
I'm
probably,
sorry. What was that?
and but I was like, I feel like this should be like mainstream, not mainstream. Like I know, sometimes we get all like, elitist and
Yeah.
stuff like that. We be like, y'all don't
You
want
just
this
feel
to
like
be
this should be
mainstream
seen by
because
more
people
people.
don't. Yeah, I just want,
Mm-hmm.
just seen by more people, and like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this that can everybody grow, kind of understand people better.
Yeah,
And
no, I agree. You know, now I think that's a pretty good wrap up of the movie for anyone that wants to hear our thoughts about it. Now, my question is, if we were to watch another movie, what do you think we should watch next?
Um,
I have an idea, but I want to hear yours first.
I guess since you picked, technically you picked, so I guess
Think-
I'll pick this one.
I
But
got you.
I'll probably be on my shonen crowd. Probably the next like this Hunter movie I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
I mean, it probably won't. I don't know if we'll have enough meat because
Mm-hmm.
like this movie was meaty. Like you can
It's
you can probably
two
talk
two
about
hours
this
long,
movie.
by the way. So
What'd
yeah,
you say?
it is 2 hours long, a little over. I
Yeah,
think. So yeah.
and just about the stuff you can talk about with, it's just like it's not like it's not dead time. It's not
Mm-hmm.
tells a good story. So
Yeah.
definitely I want to pick something that's good.
I do have a
Like-
recommendation if you're
like-
interested.
Hmm?
I do have a recommendation if you're interested.
Oh, you got a recommendation?
Yeah.
All right. You can go ahead and say yours first, and then I'll tell you like I suggested some Hunter movie. I forgot which one it is.
Mhm.
Probably the second. Probably better to watch this one.
Yeah, I got you. We could do that, and it might be good because it might be good to do it. Because I think the movie I'm gonna recommend is similar to this one in the regards that's kind of like a drama almost. I don't know too much about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I've been recommended it a lot. It's called Your Name. I don't know, like I said, don't know much about it, but I hear it's very good, and it's one of those other movies that you should really watch. But it might be. I think it is kind of similar to this movie in theme. So we might want to save that for later, but that is a recommendation I have.
I think we want to say that for later at least.
Okay,
Don't
yeah.
welcome like to anything else you have. Just something like just something different, I guess. But like
Sounds
we
fun.
and it don't have to be a movie too. We could probably be like a short and like a 12
Oh, you know,
episode.
have you seen Erased?
The Race?
Erased.
Erase. Okay, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't seen it though.
I'd totally be down to talk about that one. It's I think it's Erased. Yeah, Erased. You should watch it. It's only 24 episodes, I think. It's not long. It's 12 to 24. I don't remember exactly, but it's one of those that you should watch. It's really 12 episodes, so it'd be perfect to get out there and make something on. It's up to you though. It is. It's a thriller. I guess it's like a mystery thriller. It's really good though.
A mystery? Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I'm trying to think. I can't really think because I'm short at the moment. I don't know. Like one of the shorter ones I watched was. Have you seen Doctor? Oh yeah, you did see.
Yeah, I
you
seen
have
Dr. Stone. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And have you seen this one's kind of like this is a slice of life. It's this girl that cook. It's her dad, a little girl cooking and stuff like that.
What's it called?
Shoot, I forgot the name, but it's
I got you.
If you look up the preface, it'll probably pop up on Google. But I'll definitely try to find it for you. But Hinamatsuri, have you seen Hinamatsuri?
No, I have not.
I think that's a good short one.
Okay, we can do
It's a
that.
comedy. It's like a slice of life comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
we could probably take a look at that. We'll discuss this off stream and we'll figure it out. I will say recommendation for people interested in a good anime series that's currently airing. I think it just finished. Um, I recommend people to watch Sing Yesterday for Me. That's the English title. It came out this season, 2020 of spring of 2020. I mean, it's about romance. That sounds weird, but it's very. I don't know how to explain it other than that. Like each episode kind of shows a different kind of viewpoint and stuff. It's so good. I don't want to spoil it. It's so good. I recommend people watch it.
what's it called again?
Sing
What's it
Yesterday
called
for
again?
Me.
Sing yesterday for me. Okay,
Yeah,
so like singing a song yesterday.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's the English title. I don't know the Japanese
Um.
title. So, I think it just finished,
Yeah, I don't
and I'm
fool
gonna.
with the cocoa boat, soca boat. Nah, I don't really.
Yeah. All right.
But
Well, tell you what, you want to we'll just decide what we'll watch next week, and we'll stream it next week. Does that sound plan?
you or we can slow it down like 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. Either way.
Either way is fine. I say this week will be good too because I'm probably gonna try to take some break from some certain like social media a little bit, so I might have
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
time to like decompress and like break down the movie and stuff like that.
I got you.
So that'd be cool. That'd be cool if we can do something when we hop off. So yeah. So I'm gonna say my name. You say your name. Well, this has been DJ Mike C.W. and
Oh, my bad. And Jacob. My name's Jacob.
you
It
can
was
say
nice. Hmm.
Jacob.
Yeah, it's just
And
Jacob.
I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you for talking about this anime with me, Jacob. And
Yeah.
y'all have a blessed day.
Y'all have a good one.